So Vishwamitran, Sri Raman, and Lakshmanan, they are now walking through the forest. Vishwamitran is telling a lot of stories, anecdotes, his experiences in life. He is surely a great personality. He was a king and he knows Rajadharma. And he is also a great saint. So he can give lessons in spirituality also. So Rama and Lakshmana, they both were very happy to listen to him. And they entered into a great forest. It's a very thick forest. And then Vishwamitra told Sri Rama and Lakshmana to be in a state of Jagrata. What is a Jagrata? Jagrata means you are fully in control of the conscious mind. All your five senses are working and you are totally conscious of what's happening. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your sense of touch, your thinking, your concentration, all very, very strong. And this state is called Jagrata. And in Indian spiritual technology, we have got a lot of exercises to keep this conscious level high. That's very useful for the students because they can learn things very fast with this technology. In yoga, they teach something called Avabodha Shasana. That means you are sitting in a corner, making your mind calm, then concentrating on the inhalations and exhalations with the mantra So Hum. When you exhale, you say So, and inside, when you take breath, you say Hum. The mantra means I am that. That means I am the soul, I am not the body. But when you practice this, you will develop a tendency of remaining conscious all the time. You won't be in a lazy mood. You're conscious. And that's very good. That helps your concentration. Well, he was teaching a lot of things. Even he taught something called Bela Atibela. Bela Atibela. Strong, stronger, like that. And that's a pranayama technique. If you go on doing this pranayama, you can exist without much food and water. That technique Lakshmana and Rama learned. And then when they entered in that forest, he says, be Jagrata. Be in the state of Jagrata. Then he tells Rama the story of Tadaka. Tadaka is an evil lady. She is a demoness. There is a story behind her. Tadaka hated everything connected with spirituality. She was a staunch enemy of things connected with spirituality. At that time, there was a king called Dandaka. And Dandaka was the king of Dandakapuri. He was a very disciplined king, and so he could build up a very huge, wonderful city. That's called Dandakapuri. And then Tadaka heard of this. Especially, king had a great respect for rishis and all that. So the rishis went to that city and established gurugulams, and so many disciples were learning things like that. Just like a university. It was very famous at the time. Then Tadaka with his Rakshasas, Tadaka with her boyfriends, Rakshasas, entered the city, killed Dandagan, and destroyed everything in the city. And people started running away from that Puri, and finally it became a forest. After the years, it became a forest. Dandaka, the king, was killed, and Tadaka became the head of that forest. It was a forest of cruelty. Cruelty was accepted as something moral, and Tadaka used to kill everyone who passes by that forest. Eduthachen says in Adhyatma Ramayana in Malayalam, Ivala pedicharum ivali nadappila. That means, because of the fear of this Rakshasi, nobody walks through this forest. That's what Vishwamitra tells Rama. And she may appear. If she comes, be ready with a bow and arrow. Otherwise, she will kill everyone. She is a Narabhoji. Narabhoji means man eat. So Rama was ready. They were young, very young, adolescent age people, but they were not afraid of anything. They had that Kshatriya blood in them. So, after some time, Tadaga entered the scene. A fierce looking, monstrous woman. Naturally, Tadaga attacked Rama and Lakshmana and Vishwamitra. Rama killed Tadaga with an arrow. That was the first victory of Rama over evil. If you want to trace the symbolic meaning that Valmiki has hidden in this incident, you have to first trace what is Dandagam. See, Dandagam means discipline. One has to develop self-discipline, then only he will be able to make other people disciplined. If you are an indisciplined father, you can't insist that your children should be disciplined. As a teacher, if you don't have the discipline of a teacher or a discipline that is expected from a teacher, then you can't impose discipline action on your students. A police officer should have self-discipline. He should know what laws are and he should not cross those levels. He should know how to behave gently to the people who approach him. Otherwise, there's no meaning in saying that he's a policeman. He's equal to a rowdy, isn't it? So that self-discipline is absolutely important. So Dandaga means your discipline. And the Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. Just like the king, the people. So people are also totally disciplined. And that's how they could build up a great city at that time. Nothing can be achieved by people who have no discipline. That is Dandaga. And with this discipline, he built up a great city. Then Tadaga came and destroyed everything. So, if you consider the fact that Marijan, illusion, this illusion comes from Tadaga. Marijan is the son of Tadaga. So, Tadaga is ignorance. In our society, we can see many people talking against discipline, isn't it? Sometimes they say that teachers have no authority to punish students. So, in modern schools and colleges, the teachers are slowly moving away from that responsibility of correcting the children. And political parties, because they need people, young blood for their party, they side with the students. So what happens? In the colleges and the schools, they never teach the art of self-discipline. Unless you teach your children how to be disciplined, you are not going to do anything good for them. You want to learn something, you have to be disciplined. If you want to become a great singer, you have to wake up in the morning and sing, maybe for hours and hours together. But that discipline, once destroyed, the whole nation will be lost. That is ignorance. You don't know the value of discipline. Dandagam. That's why it is said Tadaga destroyed Dandagavanam. Finally, it became a forest. Once it was a wonderful city. So, suppose there is no discipline in a school, the result of the school will be very bad. The students will grow into indisciplined people. You know, when you go for a training in military, there is strict discipline. If there is no strict discipline, the army can never win a war. The most disciplined armies are totally constituted by disciplined individuals. So that is Dandagam. And who destroys this Dandagam? Your ignorance. You are not able to understand things in a practical manner. That's Tadaga. Suppose you are a sadhaka, you have to understand this. You cannot take in an easy manner. You have to be disciplined. You have to wake up in the morning. You have to do sadhana. You have to do meditation. You have to do puja, homam, and you have to be a strict vegetarian. All these things are essential. And you have to respect all the elders. You have to help a lot of people. You have to lead a very simple life. You should never allow the mind to develop ego. There are so many conditions. Unless you are a totally disciplined person, you won't be able to do sadhana. So that's why Vishwamitra asked Rama to kill the Tadaga in you. That's very, very important. And that is a feminine nature. Why? Ignorance will definitely attract you because it makes your life lazy, and laziness is something enjoyable. Suppose the teacher tells the students that there is no class tomorrow, then the children are very happy because sitting in a class, that's a part of the discipline. And suppose the teacher says the examinations are postponed, there won't be any examination in this year, the children are very happy. They think that that is something positive for them, but it is not so. Unless you cross the examinations, you won't be able to tell whether you are studying or not, whether you are learning or not, isn't it? So, Tadaga was a negative force. It removes the discipline of a sadhaka. And for that, you have to get the help of Lord, of Sri Rama, of the ultimate. Only he can help you in this. Tadaga is the mother of Marija. This illusion comes from our ignorance. Our ignorance that this world is real. Our ignorance that we die one day and that's the end of us. Our ignorance that what we see is truth. What we feel is truth. What we study is truth. What the foreigners, the Europeans tell is truth. Our truth is not the truth. That's all ignorance. That's stupidity. And if you follow stupid people, you will become stupid. And Sri Rama and Lakshmana goes forward. Let us also grow in our spirituality. Let us not follow ignorance. Let us follow truth, knowledge, wisdom, discipline, love, affection, all these great, great values.